Hey, welcome to today's Kanoa Quick Tips video. Today's question comes to us from Matt. During a demo earlier in the week, we had mentioned how you can use the Kanoa System Functions to pull data from our system into a custom ignition application, and he asked us to show him how to do that. We talk about it a lot, we don't show it as often, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go through the process and we're going to make up a very quick ignition screen where I'm going to pull some data into a live table using the Kanoa System Functions. I'm not trying to trick you, I promise. I know I did say that this is going to be a technical demo where I'm going to show you how to bring in the Kanoa APIs, but we're still going to start on our documentation page because this has all of the documentation on the APIs that you're going to be calling into the Kanoa system, and it's a tool you're going to use a lot. So docs.kanoa.ai gets you to our documentation. You can see that we have our appendix of APIs over here, and you can see I've already opened up the function we're going to target today, this getDowntimeData, and you can see some of the information. We're going to just download a bunch of information from our downtime tables, and this is going to need an asset ID, a start date, and an end date to work. So with that information, let's go ahead and open up our Ignition Designer. So in here, I haven't made a demo view, but besides that, we are in a clean slate. So the only first thing I'm going to do over here, so I'm going to give this a Kanoa container to make it look a little prettier. And let's go ahead and start to set up some of the data we're going to need. So I'm going to make one custom property called params. I'm going to make another called results. And I'm going to add 3 parameters in here, those 3 that we're going to pass into our system functions. So our asset ID. We're also going to do a start date and an end date. Let's drop a couple of components into our screen to let people edit these. So I'm going to add in 2 date time selectors. I'm going to add in a number selector too. Oh, that wasn't, I picked the wrong one there. Give me a sec. And we're going to add in a table. A couple of other quick tweaks. I'll make this table fill the space by setting its grow to 1, and I'm going to give everything a little bit more breathing room by putting in a gap of 5 and some padding. Great. Okay, so now we need to go ahead. We're going to wire up these UX components into our parameters. So I'm going to pick on our top one here, which we'll use as our start date, and I'm going to click a binding. And I'm going to bind that to our start date and make that opt out and bidirectional. I'm going to copy that to make my life a little easier on the next one. And if you are not familiar with ignition bindings or kind of the workflow we're doing here, definitely I would recommend you check out Inductive University and get your Ignition Core certification, where they go over all the fundamentals of the things I'm doing in here. Tying this last numeric field here to our asset ID, and then finally I'm going to tie the data of our table into our results data set. I just do know that we are going to return a data set that is properly formatted and ready to go for an ignition table. That's why we've designed it that way. So everything is wired up, nothing is running. We're going to go through, give things a couple of starting parameters. That'll help us as we're doing our testing. So I'll give it a start and end date. And remember, this was our asset ID. I'm going to put in 501. I know that's a good asset ID in our system. You'll get in the habit of memorizing probably a couple of asset IDs as you go through and do your implementation. That's just what we're using it's a common lookup that we use to define data. So I've gone through, I've put in all that information, but we're still not getting anything in our data table here, and we're getting an error because I haven't actually done the work we said we would do and tied in the Kanoa API. So to do that, I'm going to make a new binding on our results property. I'm going to have that look at our parameters, and I'm going to transform it with a script. So make this a little bigger. This is where we're going to use our Kanoa functions. I'm going to call system.kanoa.events.getDowntimeData. There we go. And you can even see it kind of starts to fill in some of the information for me, which I can kind of put in our dictionary lookups to real quick. So give me a sec to do that. So I'm calling all of those individual parameters outside of my parameter dictionary. I'm going to set duration seconds to 0 and show changed to none. And we can see this is working because our script is resolving and getting us a data set right here. I'll hit OK, and there we have it. We have our working screen. So we're going ahead, we're going to show all of the data that we get from this downtime table for each of these entries that fits our criteria as specified. I can go ahead, I can change the asset live. I'll set this to 502. You can see we switched the asset name to bakeline 2, and I can change the time range as well. Let's say I kind of come back, I'll do year to date of all of our downtime data. There we go. We just pulled 2,400 records in a snap there, and can browse through all of them as need be. So it's super fast. So there you have it. There's a lot of the ways that you can go ahead, set up a very quick ignition screen to pull some data out of the Kanoa systems using our APIs and system functions. There you have it. There's a quick demonstration of how you can use the Kanoa API to pull in data into your custom ignition application. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all the latest Kanoa quick tips, and thanks again for watching.